So let's get started. So what even is Airbnb? We know we hear that name a lot, especially because it's on traveling, and especially with COVID, people wanna be locally and find different things. So here's what it is. So Airbnb, it's an online network in the form of a website or app that offers a variety of different accommodations and lodging in the form and lodging from all hosts around the world. The basic idea is to offer guests to stay in someone else's home or residence. It could be like an apartment or a basement by renting it out instead of booking a hotel. And there's millions of different homes, apartments, basements, suites, yachts, houseboats, and sometimes even castles I've actually seen on there to choose from. So let's go into a little history lesson. It's history time. So Airbnb was founded in 2007 by two roommates, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia. They had just moved to San Francisco and they were looking for a way to earn some extra money for rent. So what they did was they bought a couple of air mattresses, air beds, and they set up a site called Air Bed and Breakfast, which is kind of how Airbnb, the name, came about. And they wanted to host travelers in their flat for $80 a night because where they lived, they had a lot of visitors and tourists at that time. So after some successful months, they decided with the help of funders to expand their locations and invite other hosts to rent out their residences too. So in 2009, Airbnb grew into an online travel company that began with 2,500 listings and some 10,000 guests. And now Airbnb has really grown since it's been online. It now has over 2 million listings and 40 million different guests, which is crazy. And it's still continuing to grow today. So let's see some of the pros and cons of Airbnb. So some of the pros, obviously, because it's online, Airbnb offers a wide selection, a wide variety of different hosts and accommodations and cities all around the world to choose from. The possibilities are really endless. They have different, they have different rooms, different hosts, and different countries, obviously. And then as for prices, the prices are usually accommodating to your personal travel budget, whatever range it may be. You can find some excellent deals too that are much less expensive than hotels can be. And there's also more access than hotels as well. Airbnb properties will often grant the guests more access to things like cooking facilities, washer and dryers, so you can do your laundry, refrigeration and pools, and sometimes even equipment or city tours that come with your purchase, your reservation. And as for some of the cons, unfortunately, what you see is not always what you get since we're booking online when we use Airbnb. There's no absolute assurance that the property that you book or the hosts that you speak with will always be what you expected. So one way we can combat that, one way that you can make sure that the property is good, the hosts are nice, is to always check the review, comments, and the ratings of people's past stays with the residents. So people who have stayed at that home or at that or on that boat. And there's also extra fees sometimes in certain accommodations. Hosts may impose some additional fees, such as an extra guest service fee, reservation fees, or occupancy taxes. Those are just extra things added onto your reservation purchase that can quickly increase the price, unfortunately. So speaking of prices, let's go into the prices and rates. So it ranges a lot depending on where you choose to travel, the host's preferences, and the type of residence. Prices may vary drastically from house to house. From what I've seen, the daily rates can range anywhere from $56 a night to $400 a night, and just everything in between. And there's always a wide variety of options, though, that are suitable to fit your personal budget. So always make sure to set your range, your budget range when searching on the website, the Airbnb website, to find the right priced location for you. So now we're going to go into how to access it, how to go on the website. So first, in order to start searching for homes and booking accommodations, you first have to create an account. And you can do this by using either your phone number. So basically what happens is you'll type in your phone number and then a number code will be sent to your iMessage, to your text message, or they will call you with the number code. Or as you can see right here, you can sign up with your email, with your Google email, and then you can just use your username and password that you normally use for your email. So it's pretty simple. And now let's say you want to book a reservation, you find a house you like and you'd like to book a reservation. So the first step is to go to the Airbnb website. In Canada, the Airbnb website would be airbnb.ca, but in the United States, it's airbnb.com, depending on where you live. Or they also have a free app that you can download on your iPad or on your phone as well. So when you're searching for a home or an apartment that you like, basically what happens is the next step, you can enter in the dates that you'd like to go away, how many guests you'll be taking, if there's adults or children, and the destination that you'd like to visit. And then third step, after you make that initial search, you can also add additional filters once you're looking for homes, like price range, your budget, accommodation type. So if you wanted to stay in a home or a basement, a private room or an apartment, things like that, or amenities too that you'd like to have, such as like free Wi-Fi, kitchen, to cook, a pool, etc. And then the next step, once you have all your filters in and you know where you want to go and you know when you want to go, is fourth, you can start scrolling for available residences. So, you can just look at the different options. They have different prices, different hosts. And once you find one that you like, you can click on it to read more information about it, such as ratings, amenities, and past renter comments. So people who have stayed at that home or at that apartment. And then the next step, if you really are interested in this residence, if you feel like you'd like to travel there and stay there, you can then press the reserve button. And this is the button right here. It's just a little pink button. And then it will start the booking process, and you can message the host to answer some questions. They'll want to get to know you possibly, and just make sure that they have those dates available. And then if you don't have an account yet, Airbnb will then ask you to first create one in order to start booking a home. And then after booking, you'll usually receive an email confirmation along with the host's contact information. And then you can contact the host to organize your arrival. So you always keep in contact. It's a very organized way. So when you go on the homepage of Airbnb, there's this button. It's called the I'm Flexible button. And it's a very interesting button because when you press this button, Airbnb will actually generate random locations and homes relatively near you and where you live with reasonable prices. This is a really great option if you're not sure where you want to travel to. They'll usually give you inexpensive, different locations that maybe you've never seen before. There's also another button. It's on the top of the homepage, of the Airbnb homepage. It's a really fun way. It has very interesting paid webinars. They're hosted daily. They're online, usually on Zoom, like we are today. And they have different topics like making chai, as you can see in the image, tarot reading, and panda tours. And you can do this all from the comfort of your own home. And this is the website. This is the link. Usually it's airbnb.ca/s/experiences/online. And you can explore the different online sessions they offer. And if you're interested in one, if one of them is, you wanted to try one, you can sign up and then pay, and it's a really fun way of doing different things, creative things from the comfort of your own home. So is Airbnb safe to use? In short, the answer is yes. Airbnb does a lot of things to cover their security. For example, they run hosts and guests against global regulatory, terrorist, and sanctions watch lists. For hosts and guests in the United States, they also will conduct background checks prior to them coming into the house, renting the home. Also, Airbnb, the reservations are scored for risk before they're confirmed, and they also run safety workshops with hosts and leading local experts and encourage hosts to provide guests with important local information as well. And as for their platform, their actual website, it ensures your money gets directly to the host. That's why they always ask you to pay through Airbnb and never wire money or pay someone directly, or else the money could get into the wrong hands. There's also a multi-factor authentication when a login is attempted from a new phone and computer, sending you account alerts when changes are made to safeguard your account. And they also have a secure messaging tool that lets you know a host or guest and ask questions about a listing or experience ahead of time. So it's a pretty safe platform. It's very trustworthy, and they do a lot of things to make sure of that. So about COVID-19, obviously we all have to be at home, and there's new rules and restrictions we have to follow wherever we are. So guests and hosts must follow the local laws and guidelines related to wearing masks and social distancing when interacting. Hosts around the world are really following and committing to Airbnb's expert-backed 5-step enhanced cleaning process to make sure that everything is disinfected and safe and clean for the next guest when they come. And when conducting searches, you can actually apply specific filters to search for stays with a flexible cancellation policy. So say you're not able to go because they have you can't fly to a specific location, or the country won't allow travelers to come in, then you always have the option to cancel, and you may get your money back as well. Also, for guests and hosts, they have to remember to follow the government guidelines around traveling, staying up to date with the latest news, and avoiding non-essential international travel for the time being. There are still many homes and different locations too that you can go to around you as well, if the restrictions allow. And now we're going to discuss how to become an Airbnb host, if something that interests you. If you have an extra room in your house or an empty property, signing up to be an Airbnb host is a really great way to make some extra money. And so to become a host, you'll usually go onto their website. You'll go to this link right here, airbnb.ca/host/homes, and you're going to click the try hosting button. And so there's going to be a couple of steps, and you're going to fill out some information like your address and the residence or the room that you want to rent out. And there's a lot of perks of being an Airbnb host that people may not know. For example, you can host whenever you want. You can set your own prices, and you can establish your own rules for your space. Rules such as you can have a non-smoking home, or if there's a limit capacity of how many people you like in your home, things like that. And it's really that easy. Airbnb is really an enjoyable platform. It helps create fun vacations and travel adventures and lasting memories. And it also offers a lot of access to amenities and things like that. I know me and my family have used the Airbnb platform a couple of times over the past years. Obviously not right now because of the pandemic, but every single time it's been well organized, and we really like using that platform. So if that's something that interests you, maybe you can consider using it for your next trip. So now I'm going to do a live demo. So we're going to play a hypothetical game. If I wanted to book a trip on Airbnb, how would I go about doing it? So let's start the live demonstration. First, I'm going to go into the website, so airbnb.ca. and it'll take me right to the home page. Remember, I had said that in order to book an Airbnb, I first have to create an account. So I'm going to press here right on the top right corner, the little white section with the little gray image person symbol. And I'm going to press the sign up button because I don't have an account yet. So I'm going to press sign up. And then this will usually come up. So to sign up, it's going to ask you either to use your regular 10-digit phone number, or you can use your email or username and password. I'm going to sign up with my email. So I'm going to go down here and press continue with email. And I'm going to type in my email. Go. And now my password to my email. And it's going to give me a login button. Perfect. So now, I'm at the home page again. And now that I already have an account, if I wanted to log in again, I can always press this little white section again, and you can log out, and there will be usually a login button as well when you want to log back in into your account. So here's the main page. You see right here, it's going to ask me where I want to go, the dates when I want to check in and arrive, and then the dates when I want to check out, and as well how many guests would be going. It'll ask you if there's any infants under 2, children from 2 to 12, or adults, which are usually 13, ages 13 or above. So it's good to know that prior to going onto the website. Right here we see this is one of the online experiences I was talking about. If you click on it, it takes you to this little page. And it has all these cool classes and interviews that you can see online from Tokyo 21 Olympians and Paralympians. They have games, conversations, they have interviews. So it's really cool. If that's something that interests you, that's a really good option. And you will have to pay for it. So to go to the back to the home page, I'm going to press back on the Airbnb button. And on this page, we see the website is suggesting places near me, like Montreal or Niagara Falls, that have available homes if I am not sure where to go, which is a good idea. And there's the I'm flexible button that we talked about. If you're not sure where to go again, this button will generate some options, some homes that might be interesting. There are some of the filters. If you wanted your home to be outdoors, if you wanted it to be you alone, if you wanted to have pets in it. It's a really helpful page. Here are some of the experiences. These will be in-person experiences if restrictions allow, and then these ones are virtual. You can do it on Zoom, and they're led by the hosts of the Airbnb homes. Then we go down here, and this is the try hosting button. Basically, if you're interested, like we talked about, in hosting your home, giving up your home for some extra rent money, then you can press learn more, and it'll take you to this page. And you can press this try hosting button. It's pink right here. See? And usually it'll ask you to create a listing, and it'll ask you your address and different things like that, your number, where you live, things like that. Okay, so say I have an idea of where I want to go, and say I want to travel to Montreal in Quebec, and the restrictions are allowing it, and I need a place to stay. So first, I'm going to type in where I want to go. So let's type in Montreal, and there we go, we found it. They have a lot of locations available, and then it takes me to the check-in. So when I want to arrive to Montreal, what dates I'll be staying. So let's say I want to go from October 6th and check out, which means leave October 13th. And now I can choose how many guests will be going. Let's pretend that I'm going to go myself. So one adult, which would mean one guest. And now I can start looking and I can press the search button. So let's click that. And it's going to come up with a lot of different homes and things like that. Perfect. So now that I'm here, like we talked about, I'm going to put filters in. And filters are kind of your own preferences that you'd like in your home or in your apartment. Let me see. Let's say I want to book a home or apartment without having to wait for the host's approval. So I can press instant book. And then this is what it says, listings you can book without waiting for host approval. So say I want to do that, I can turn it on, can click it, and then save it. And then it'll find homes and apartments according to that filter. And maybe, let's see, maybe I want an entire place to myself, not to share. I can press type of place, and it'll have different options if you wanted a private room, if you wanted a hotel room, a shared room. But let's say today I want to have the entire place to myself. I'm going to save, and then again, it's going to find apartments and homes accordingly. And there's so many other filters that you can use too. If we go to this little button, more filters, you have so many options. You can use, there's a number of rooms or beds that you want. We have the type of quality that we want in services, amenities, if you wanted pool, so many options. If you wanted Wi-Fi, a kitchen or a hair dryer, just different things like that. And facilities, like I said, if you wanted the pool, even the property type. If you'd like to be in a home, in a house, in an apartment, you could be in a hotel. They have a lot of property types. The list just keeps going. There are some of the options. Look, there's the castle that I said. You can even choose to stay in a castle or an RV, a boat. They really get creative, and these are really nice places. Even the language that you'd like the host to be, they offer a lot of languages, which is pretty cool. Okay, so now that I have all my filters checked in, I can press show 300 plus stays. So it generated some homes and places with my filters. And let's say I like this apartment. It's found in Mont Royal, which is the center of Montreal. So I'm going to click on it because I'm interested in it. Looks like a pretty nice apartment. And let's say I'm still a little hesitant. I don't know if I'd like the apartment. I'm not sure what it's like. Well, then there's a very cool feature. We can check the rating of the apartment, and we can find that right here beside this little star. There's 138 reviews as well, which I'll go into, but the apartment has 4.64 stars, which is not bad out of 5 stars. So that gives me an idea of what kind of host they are, what kind of, the cleanliness, the organization, what amenities it has. Now I'm going to scroll all the way down. This gives me some information about the rooms, the amenities, my dates, the total price it would be, including fees and taxes, as well as the number of nights. It's right here. And so now I'm going to go down and look at the reviews. So these are reviews. These are comments from people who have already stayed at the location. Let's see. Someone named Haywood said that he gives it a 5 out of 5 location, which is good. Tell me good things. For example, this woman, she said that the place offers good value for the price. It is clean. Host offers almost everything a traveler would need. Location is good. and the pictures are an accurate view of the place. So that's good. It gives me an idea. And they have 138 reviews, so there's lots to choose from, and you could even read all of them if you wanted, and it gives you an idea of what kind of host they are, how they take care of their home, and things like that. If you'd like to see more of the home or the apartment, on the top of the page, there's a little button that says Show All Photos. So I'm going to press that because I want to see more of what the house looks like. And I can scroll with my mouse. Gives me an idea of what the house would look like. It's all cleaned up, lots of light. Very nice. And then to go back, I'm going to press here. Perfect. So say I'm very interested in this place. I'm going to be planning a trip to Montreal, and I like the location. I like the host. I've seen enough that I am interested in going. So how would I book the reservation like we had talked about? So we're going to go down just a little bit, and there's that reserve button that I talked about. It's just a pink button that says reserve. So we can press on that. And then all the fees and taxes and reservation details are included. They even have pay options that you can pay in full now, or you can pay half and half later, half now, half later. They have my dates, how many guests. And then you can put your credit card or debit card information if you're going to pay online. It also has a 48-hour cancellation policy, which is good. Some of the hosts will give you that. And then once I've paid and everything, and I've reviewed all the details, I've agreed to the host rules, I'm gonna press request to book. Obviously, I wish I could book it, but I'm still here at home. But yeah, that's basically how it works.